Siemens Limited. I worked with Siemens for about 15 years. I was looking after the mechanical department of its switchgear division, and I was into repairing of the machines and everything. I was supposed to keep the plant running. I was responsible for it. Then, as a part of our culture in Siemens, we are supposed to look after the environment in a positive frame of mind, through a positive listing and open mind. So, as a part of it, I was involved in a lot of green energy projects that Siemens took during my tenure over there.
Prasad, one of our colleagues is going to shoot the presentation. I will upload it inside for the guide part of it.
You can forward it to me too. You can forward it to me too. I will also forward it on my side. So from Siemens, this thing started, and I started getting involved in the environmental things. These things attracted me, and somewhere inside your heart, everybody feels something for the environment. Especially when you start feeling the pinch of it. So you start feeling more for the environment. Now, coming to this point, rainwater harvesting is one of the things that is hurting us right now. The point is, if we do rainwater harvesting today, it will be considered to be an initiative. Whereas, if you start it or you leave it for tomorrow, you will be made to do it by government or organizations or by the circumstances around you. You will be made to do it. What is the situation that currently prevails in India? See, nowadays, in today's scenario, 250 million or more people stay in cities. The municipal corporations are already feeling the pinch of it. The water scarcity, you all and we all are feeling it. There are villages or in the rural areas, we are also feeling the shortage of water. We are facing a drought this season. So, same here, like India has more than 250 million city dwellers. By 2020, about 50% of India's population is expected to shift to urban India. So you can imagine the amount of load that is going to come upon the municipal corporations. There is a complete dependence on municipal corporations for any kind of water provisions. Most of the water basins are degraded, and the rivers are polluted, and we all know it. We all are the reason for it. Groundwater resources have been heavily overused. If you have been, anybody who has done rainwater harvest, this in borewells in their societies, has come across.
Yeah.
What was the depth that you got water at?
Around 35, 60,
30 feet. 30 feet?
Yeah.
35 to 40
Yeah,
feet.
yes.
So you are lucky to have it at that level. Probably you are lying at low-lying areas.
Yeah.
The flooding पण तुमच्या एरियात होत असेल.
Okay.
So this is the reason. Like if we go far off now, earlier the water used to be at this level even at high areas. But nowadays the water level has gone down beyond 300 feet to 400 feet. That is the situation that we are facing. And we are doing rainwater harvesting on a day-to-day basis. Rainwater harvesting, so we have to do borewells as well. So we have an update of it, what is the water level that we are having. So that is the situation, that the water level has gone tremendously down. More below we go, the water slowly starts becoming more concentrated because we are draining out water. We are removing the diluting factor of it. So then concentration, it means it is more acidic or more alkaline. Sorry. So that is not useful for us. Again, a daily water consumption for a human being. See, this is the parameters laid down by the municipal corporations. This is supposed to be the water requirement a person should use. Should not use more than this. Drinking water 3 liters a day, cooking 5 liters a day, bathing 20 liters, flushing 40 liters, washing clothes 25 liters, washing utensils 25, gardening 12, and total is 130 liters per day. This is the approximate that is been given by the municipal corporations. So if we can see from this, 130 liters a person is using, we are not getting this much amount of water nowadays. Maybe somewhere in Mumbai we may get, but beyond that suburban areas we won't get this much amount. So what we can eliminate from this or reduce from this is 40 liters of the flushing. That literally goes waste. So we need to concentrate on places where we can reduce this consumption, or rather the load on the municipal corporation by reducing, taking care of all this consumption our own self. The quality versus quantity of available water. The total water available, I mean we are about 97% of water, right? Of that, salty water is more than 95% something. Groundwater is also less. Glaciers and permanent snow is too much. You know the snow, and that is the whatever green what do you call the heating effect.
The global warming.
The greenhouse effect. That has again made this glaciers to melt. Then lakes and rivers. So the pure water that we are available with is only somewhere around 3%. That too we can use it after filtration or after treatment. We cannot directly use it. The fact file of Mumbai, which is more concerned, which we are more concerned about, is 437 square kilometers. Annual rainfall is about 2,000 millimeters. We have a potential of 2,394 MLD. That much amount we can save out of rainwater harvesting if we can collect this water. So nothing like it. Present water supply is 2,900 MLD. So you can imagine it is taking care of about 80% of water supply.
Which is the natural soil, which is the act as a natural filter.
Right.
That acts as natural filter. So you know what is my purpose when I am using a sand filter or any, for the matter, any filter?
When is my natural filter going to come into picture?
Catchment area of the roof. When the catchment area of the roof, that's when you need the filter, right?
But that
he
water,
saying
I can take it to my natural ground, right? I mean, when I want to replenish.
Nearby garden, he says.
What happens? I will do.
That will increase the groundwater level, but how can you retract that water back? If you want to store it, that
I'm
water,
replenishing my groundwater level, right? Finally, that's what I'm doing.
there are two ways. One is increase the groundwater level by percolating to ground.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, let me first thank you. You made everybody go for it. First is, what happens is, when we are talking of filtration, natural filtration, this is my sand, soil level, right? These are two different places. Let us imagine this has already has soil. This is a normal soil. This is a pit that I have made. Okay. This water is anyway going to go into that. You mean to say, why do I need a filtration when this is anyway going to filter the soil?
And it will replenish my.
Now, see, this is my ground table.
Yeah.
Okay. The point is, the water from here passing through this natural filter will take years to reach. Okay. Now I have made this thing, and I want the water to reach faster. To increase the ground water level, I have to make this water, because we have been extracting water for years, and you want to replenish it in within small amount of time, a fraction of time. See, so we have made this pit. This pit probably has fine holes, hopefully. Okay. These holes I don't want to block. It will again filter and go into this, but it will take years. For me, because if there are some holes and I am blocking those, and then waiting for the water to filter go, and naturally filtration will take place and reach the groundwater, it will take years. By the time there will be saturation of water here, mosquitoes will bite me, and then I will have another problem.
No, what he is saying is like that the distance, the length, where the water source is there and where is the ground level. Considering that whatever pit you are, digging, that is negligible.
Right.
So his question is like, why then that's
That's why I am saying
percolation. Efficiency of
what we do here, the surface area is this much. Over here my surface area has increased more than 4 times. This remains, plus this into this plus this into this. My surface area has increased. I want to percolate the water faster, right?
Also the pressure.
There is some amount of filtration that is anyway going to take place by my natural filtration.
तेवढा height sir.
But since there is filter available, why I pump in bad water inside?
जास्त असेल तर तेवढं pressure नाही.
Why should I pump in dirty water? If there is some means by available and that means are not costly, why not utilize it? Simple.
Now, one last question.
No.
I mean,
No, I
from
have
my
one
side.
more, but that is
From
very
my
side. Okay.
Like, see, one side is the good intention. The second is that you said that there's government benefits and probably water saving also. So if we have to make a case in front of the society, I'm not an individual decision taker. There might be some who relate to the noble motive, and there might be some who relate to the other motive, financial motive. So do you like, what is this? We need a certification for that 5% benefit, or
Yeah, you need to first find out whether your corporations are. It comes down, and normally what happens is we make a gutter. Like this is a gutter from which the water is flowing. We are talking of societies, not individuals. So what we can do nowadays, we find a lot of places, many places where we have a concrete gutter. Try and avoid it. Let the water percolate through this sand at least. Okay. So when the water is getting percolated, what we can do is increase this surface area. What we can do, we have a bigger area here. A bigger gutter here. Close it again by putting stones, boulders. You can put boulders around this area. So this area is again closed. The thing that we had digged in, this is again closed. We have a PCC done up. ऊपर से कुछ दिखेगा नहीं. The water inside will go inside here. And so this way we can use this area for parking, this region for parking vehicles and everything. We can use it for gardening as well. We can have grasses grown on that because we are anyway giving water. So this area can be utilized. Also we can use it for percolation. So these are trenches where we can dig about 1 meter deep, get this gutter going through it and allow it to go further. So what happens is, some part of water gets percolated here. When I say 1 meter deep, some part of water will stay here. आज बारिश गिरा है, the water is flown off, but still some water is there to percolate because of the pit. Now this water gets percolated as well, and the surface area can be used for us. So this minor adjustments can be done. And if rainwater harvesting should be clean, free from dust, algae, plants, etc. Avoid painting of roof. Paintings of roof should be avoided. Not that don't paint it at all. Okay, since most paints contain toxic substance and may peel off. Okay, when they come out, because these terraces, rooftops are always exposed to sun. So the paints normally they peel off of the surfaces and then they come into our system. So try and avoid that thing. Do not store chemicals, rusting iron, manure or detergent on roof. If you have stored all these things, these are leaking, it will again come into our water. Terraces should not be used for toilets either by human beings or by pets. Provide gratings at mouth of each drain pipe or terraces to trap loose debris and floating materials, as we were discussing. If we have gratings, something like a mesh, a steel mesh or something, so we are already trapping the leaves and everything going to the system. That is when you can clean it then and there itself. On the terrace itself, if you can segregate the leaves apart, so water goes inside is in a better way. Provision of first rain separator should be made to flush off first rains. As we discussed, first flush, what we discussed, right? So first flush should be able to, at the end of the dry season and just before the first shower of rain is anticipated, the storage tank should be scrubbed and flushed off all sediments and debris. Common sense. जिसमें store कर रहे हैं उसको clean करके रखो. Right? So anything else? अभी तो हो गया. Now most of the things might have cleared. Still, if you have any doubts, anything.
So suppose we decide to go for this, then what is the cost of this? Like what help you will render from your side?
From my side,
At your company.
I am a professional. I professionally do this. Okay, so we can do everything. We will visit your place. Okay, we will calculate. You have a survey of your site. Analyze what is the best thing. What is the catchment area? Calculate the pit size. What will be needed. Then accordingly we will design the thing. Give it to you. This will be our costing. After we designing, then we will give you the costing. This much will be the cost. Then you can work on it whether you want to go ahead. You can suggest we want to fit in this cost or whatever, and then we can work upon what best suited for you.
What is the approximate cost?
See, for pits, depending again, there are a lot of dependencies. One is rooftop area. How much area is it? If the area is big and the pits required are bigger, the cost goes up. A normal and average pit size, for an average pit size, it costs about 85 to 90,000.
It's a one time.
One time.
What are the maintenance costs for this?
Negligible, you can mean it zero. Once in a year, if you want to take just the sand out and put it in, the labor will take 300 rupees in a day, and that will take about half a day. Hardly anything for the society. Say 10 people, 20 people living and 300 rupees. But the advantages are enormous.
No, I mean, I see some of the problems like the pit. If you don't have that place for the pit, or how do you overcome it?
Then you have to get a borewell. See, rainwater harvesting. The name we are telling that we are harvesting this water. Harvesting is we are giving it back to the soil. Okay. Now, if you don't have place at all, then we don't have any option. So either we have a drill a borewell, which doesn't require much of a space, a small space, and then a filtering media around. That will take around 1 meter by 1 meter space at least. And then borewell drilling. So this much amount of space will be needed. Either or we have a method of building trenches. What we can do is in your trenches. Which is easily accessible. Some maintenance where you can easily access it and do maintenance on a regular basis. So removing the sand filters and beds is easy. You can have a nylon sheet under every grade of sand. So this sand doesn't go in. Okay. So something like this can be done. You can think of many things. Have some nylon sheet रहेगा तो पतला रहे. That will again block all the particles. The particles itself will block lot of. Okay. Good. Something made must think for.
Sand filters, do they need backwash
Yes,
periodically?
yes.
So that is built in these filters?
No, see, when we say sand filters, there are two different types of sand filters. The sand filter that you are talking of is used basically in softeners kind of a thing, wherein it comes with a compartment, I mean with a vessel, and then that we can use it. I mean through that we can use, but then it requires pressurized.
But if we make a homemade one, like,
Homemade,
with
that-
different grades, so does it
Yeah, that's
require
what.
backwash?
Yeah, it will need maintenance. I won't say backwash. Just remove the sand, clean that part, put it again. It will for initially for 2 years we may not need, depending again on the kind of water that is coming in. If there are too much of leaves that are falling inside, then you may have to do it regularly. So if we can somewhere have a screen which is trapping most of leaves and everything, and probably a much filtered water goes into this, and then further filtration is done by this thing, that is fine. You don't need it to maintain it every year. You can do it once in 2 years, once in 2 years. So as he said about membranes also, if the water quality is good, the membranes will have a life of about 3 years. So this is the simplest thing, and it won't require any technology. Anybody can do it, and all of us are engineers or educated people. As I told, see, this rainwater was collected from rooftop to a bottom tank or to an underground tank. This was pumped out this was an overhead tank. We had a water supply from MIDC. This was coming to this. We were sensing this supply, the level of this water. Whenever we find there was no water into this wall gets on, water supply from municipal corporation fills this tank. So automatically for 4 months this water is utilized. For 4 months the water supply is stopped. I mean from the municipal corporation for this purpose is not used. Right? And we could save about 20,000 rupees per month. This was for corporation. I mean the amount of water saved, and then there were too many of people, so we could save about that much amount of water. So this is what we could do in Siemens. Something which we can do, and this did not take much of an investment. It was about 90,000. So the payback period was about 4 to 5 months. So imagine the amount of potential that we all can have, right? Now, as we have all discussed about how we can do, any queries on this? What all things that you feel, any small query, big query, whatever it is, you can throw it at me. It will be.
Is there any ready-made filters available for doing this?
Yeah, there
Is
are.
there any organization who manufactures these filters for rainwater harvesting?
Rainwater filters. See, there are many companies who will give you rainwater harvesting filters. Okay, there is one company called Johnson's that will give you. This is about an US company. There is another rainy filters which is manufacturing it in Bangalore. But then the cost of the entire thing goes up. If it's a society, if it's a company, harvesting system is the surface which directly receives the rainfall. It can be a paved area like a terrace or a courtyard, or an unpaved area like a lawn or open ground. A roof made of reinforced cement concrete, galvanized iron or corrugated sheets can also be used for water harvesting. So this is the area where we collect the water. This is the area where we can collect the water from. Now this water is routed to our place where we want to store it through gutters and conduits. So what are the gutters? Gutters are basically the place on the rooftop where you form these gutters at the end of the sheets. Okay, those are gutters, not the gutters that we see in our areas, right? So these gutters are the small gutters where we collect the water and route it through a single pipe. So channels all around the edges of the sloping roof to collect and transport rainwater to the storage tank. Gutters can be semicircular or rectangular and could be made using same galvanized iron or PVC. Conduits are pipelines or drains that carry rainwater from the catchment or rooftop area to the harvesting system. Conduits can be of any material like coral, so whatever you can use, GI pipes, PVC pipes or whatever. First flush. First flush is something which is to be done by all of done for the system. What happens is during all the year, apart from rainy season, there are a lot of dirt that is falling on. There is bird shit that is falling on the roof of ours. So the first water that comes in carries all this dirt. So it is necessary for us that we divert this dirt or this water to some other place and not into our tanks. So this is called first flush. Maybe a valve, maybe a T in the root. Just a simple thing. I am just giving you an example. We already have a conduit which is going to the tank. Put a T, give a pipe valve, just open it during the first flow, close it off, then let it go to the tank. This is the simplest form of a first flush. Then a filter. The filter is used to remove suspended pollutants from the rainwater collected over roof. Now this filter, apart from the first flush, there will be things that will be falling on the roof even during the rainy season. So when the rain is falling also, there will be some leaves that will be falling on the roof. There will be some dirt shit that will be again falling on the roof. So we have to make an arrangement to trap these things. The first flush will be carrying majority of it. But in your day-to-day rainfall also you will find all these things. So we need to make an arrangement to trap these things. That is a filter. The filter is used to remove suspended pollutants from the rainwater collected over roof. A filter unit is a chamber filled with filtering media such as fiber, coarse sand and gravel layers. These are layers of different sizes of sand, stones, to remove debris and dirt from water before it enters to the storage tank or recharge structure. Charcoal can be added for additional filtration. What charcoal basically does is to remove odor and color from the water. If there is some kind of water that is coming out of the water. For rainwater, we basically don't need charcoal. It is for the further treatment. Okay? And we are not anyway going to use directly for drinking purpose. So charcoal, if you use it, it is good, but it is not always needed. The percolation pits. Now, once you have done this, either you collect this water into an say syntax tank or a tank that you have made for collecting this water. There is another thing that you can do is directly allow this water to percolate into the soil. And maybe you can have a borewell somewhere around your society and recharge the borewell. So these are other things. So if you are collecting it into a tank, there is nothing else to be done. Once you just route it into the tank and then use it for your purposes. Else, if you want to do it in a percolation pit, how do you do it? Is percolation pits is one of the easiest and most effective means of harvesting rainwater, designed on the basis of expected runoff as described for settlement tanks. It is basically what happens is when you collect, you are collecting this water from your rooftops. You already now know where you are getting this water from, so you know the area of this shed. You have to calculate the area, the amount of rain that is going to fall on it, and then accordingly you have to design the size of this percolation pits. Okay, so it should be able to hold an amount of water at least for 24 hours. The amount of water that will be coming through rain for 24 hours, you have to be able to collect this, because it takes some time for water to percolate into the soil. Not everywhere the soil is very much permeable. Not everywhere it will be easily absorbing the water. So it will take some time for water to percolate into the soil. We should make this provision. आपल्याकडे 24 तास पाणी पडत नाही, पाऊस पडत नाही. But we should have an arrangement where 24 तास जरी पडला तरी we should be able to hold this water. Borewell recharge pit. Here water is allowed to percolate through a filter bed. Filter bed दोन्हीकडे लागतो, percolation pit ला पण आणि borewell ला पण. Borewell ला more so because borewell मध्ये काय असतं की we already have a borewell. We drill a borewell first. What happens, the difference between percolation pit and a borewell basically is that percolation pit we are allowing the water to percolate through soil. Whereas in a recharging of a borewell we are directly routing this water to the borewell. Okay, so that increases the necessity for filtration, further filtration. What happens if we don't filter this water, we allow it straight away to the borewell. The borewell receives this water, its water from small openings into the soil or the rocks wherever we have reached to the water level. Okay, once this water, if we are allowing this water directly to go into it, and if the dirt goes into it, if this dirt goes into it and then blocks those small openings of water, then we may end up getting lesser water every year in spite of recharging. Okay, so borewell recharge pit, here water is allowed to percolate through a filter sand which comprises of sand and gravel. A borewell recharge pit is generally borehole which is drilled to the desired depth depending upon the geological conditions, preferably 2 to 3 meters below the water table in the area. So water table, as I said, is already going down and we have to go more deeper and deeper. To stop the suspended solids from entering the recharge borewell, a filter mechanism is provided. So if we want to design this percolation pits or a rainwater harvesting or a borewell, then what all things we need to consider? The catchment area, as I discussed earlier, we need to get the area that we are going to trap this water from. The amount of area, the larger the area, the more the amount of water that we will be getting. Average rainfall in a particular area. The rainfall varies from, Mumbai gets most of the rainfall, it is about 2300 millimeters to 2000 millimeters. And average rainfall falls somewhere between this. And the permeability of the soil. We need to check, as I said, the water, the soaking tendency of soil varies from place to place. Somewhere if you go closer to seashores, the water will not be easily taken in. It will take some time. If you are going to some place where it is total dry, you will find that the water is soaked in easily. So we need to, and this is done maybe by you can do it by having a hole, dig a 1 cubic meter hole, and then a 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter cubical hole. Store water for a day and then analyze what amount of water has already gone in, soaked inside. So you get, and that is how you calculate. This is just a primitive way of calculating things. We have technological things that we can calculate, but not everyone will be accessible to. So if you want to do it and really, so we can do it with these kind of things. See, as I told you, if we can store it into a small tank directly, we can make it by say using a syntax tank. Get this water, these are the gutters, these are the conduits that we can say. This water is collected into the tank, you can use it for your own purposes as you want it. Either take it directly or pump it inside your house. That is borewell recharging. This is recharging where we are doing the filtration. So this filtration should take care of the majority of the dust particles and things that will be blocking the openings in the soil. This again is one kind of pit. As I told, this is a pit where we can store this water. This will eventually increase your water levels, groundwater level. This is another tank where we can store and then again use it. You can do it underground. This will have a dual advantage. It will also recharge the water or subsoil water can be improved, and also you can directly use it. So this has a dual advantage. Water well. Right. This can be done. See, the water well, as you rightly said, we can have different techniques. I mean, one of the techniques that we use is a double ring well. The water well that you said is we can use a ring well around, right? Put in ring wells and then that is the well. We can have a double ring well wherein the outer shell, in between the outer ring well and the inner ring well, we can have a filter media placed inside. We can have these various different grades of sand put in. Let this water flow into the out of the to the external ring well. From that to the internal thing, it will come filter. So you can directly use it. So this is one of the techniques that we use. See, as I told you, these are the simple things that we can do. Again, collecting from the gutter, collecting into a center stack, then use it for your purposes. The ideal thing to do in the societies is rainwater harvesting system. Water is collected, it is sent into the tank. This tank is filled, you take it up, use an overhead tank. From this overhead tank, you use it for flushing, for washing machines, etc. and car wash and garden. So it's a very simple thing, don't need to do any research on it. Just use your common sense and you can use it.
And borewell recharge is for live borewell or dead borewell?
Dead recharge, see, what happens, why is a borewell dead?
No, sometimes borewell drilling is failure. So
No, that is because, see, there are two things. Either before you drill a borewell, you can do survey. There are surveys that are done. People in primitive method they used to do with coconut. How do they do it? But still the result is good. They still find water. That is important. So you can do it that way. Before you do a borewell, you either go do some survey, do a thing where you can go it, drill the bore and you find water. It should be something that you put in money, then you should get out of it something. Okay. So do survey, minor survey, then that doesn't cost too much. So after that survey is done, see what happens, as he said, because we have already extracted too much of water into it, from it, then the borewell becomes dry. If you have done survey, abhi tumne survey nahi kiya, if you have not done the survey and there was no possibility, there is no pocket inside. There has to be a pocket somewhere, right? If you are drilling a borewell, a rock hai, to usme pockets hai, water pockets available hai, then you are extracting water out of it. Okay? If there is no water pocket at all and you are drilling a borewell, it doesn't make sense. So it ideally makes sense to have a survey before you actually do the drilling. Now there are borewells which used to have water, now they are dry. This is a possibility. So these borewells will get you water. Once you harvest water, in a couple of seasons you should start getting water from it. Okay? Depending upon the cavity inside. If the cavity is too big, probably 3-4 years later. Getting? What happens is, we have a water pocket. There are say 10 number of borewells that are dug into the same borewell. The person who has gone more deeper will get the water first. And if we started extracting before you will not get it. It will take. You will get the water, provided the enough amount of water is going in. Maybe if more people are educated like you, then more people do rainwater harvesting, and then everybody starts getting water. So rainwater harvesting, as you said, we can do it for both water, both borewells. Dried borewells also, borewell also, and a live borewell also. Live borewell you will start getting a better quality of water. If you are extracting a say XYZ quality of water, get it tested today, do rainwater harvesting, next year again you get tested. The water quality will vary from September to April as well. From September till December the water quality remains good. After that, as you go down the level, as it goes down, the water quality starts deteriorating. So what is rainwater harvesting? These are all the things that we spoke till now are the problems that we are having. Now the solutions to that is rainwater harvesting. And water use are not for any individual, it's for everybody, all of us. We are all facing it. Somewhere or some down the line we are facing the crunch. So rainwater harvesting is a solution for all of us. So what is rainwater harvesting? Rainwater harvesting simply involves the collection of water from the surfaces, on which the rain falls, and subsequently storing this water for later use. We can store this water and use it directly. It can later be used to flush toilets, for gardening, vehicle washing, other typical uses instead of drinking water. Drinking water, we can use it for drinking as well, but we need to further purify it. We need to make further treatment on it. What are the purpose and objectives? See, the purpose of it is ideal for areas having inadequate water supply, as we all have already discussed on this. Increase the availability of groundwater. As I told, the groundwater level has been going down, and we can increase it and we can get it back to our original things, but it will take years. Decrease the menace of flooding of roads and low-lying areas. The flooding is happening recently are reasons because we have been doing all the concretization. The water is not getting soaked into the soil. The water still remains, and then there is adding to it by rain. It has to flow somewhere, and the flowing paths, the Mithi river and everything that we have blocked, so it has to go somewhere, so it will come out and flood all your roads. Enhancing quality of environment. Obviously the quality of environment will improve if we can pour in water onto the soil. Cost effective and easy to maintain. It is the most easiest way to do it, and if we think about it, then we can do it in ourselves. Stimulus for implementing. For corporates, there is a stimulus for implementing rainwater harvesting at company levels that has a cascading effect throughout the company. The cascading effects is when management thinks about it, management starts implementing at it. There are people like you and like me who can take it from there and take it to your own places. People who are say at a level where you can take decisions in your societies or anything, then you can take a call on that. Start implementing at your own residences. How do you use this rainwater water that is harvested through rainwater harvesting? Rainwater may be utilized for both potable and non-potable purposes. Firstly, for drinking, with necessary precautions. As I said, we can use it for drinking as well, but we need to do some initial treatment for it. Toilet flushing, directly we can use. Laundry, landscape irrigation, and swimming pool replenishment. There are two basic methods of rainwater harvesting. Storage of roof rainwater in tanks. You can use it. I have come across places where people still use buckets, hang buckets when there is rain falling, and then they can use it for their purposes, whatever reason. Everybody has seen all this, but to implement it in more systematic manner is rainwater harvesting. Everybody can use it. Bucket laga do, use kar lo, then hang the bucket again. This is normal thing that we keep doing. But when you come and use a bit of engineering into it and implement it in a larger scale, it becomes rainwater harvesting. So every household, every housewife who has felt the crunch for water during rainy season uses this. Recharge to groundwater for future consumptions. Through borewell recharge, recharging of borewell. How we have to do it, we will see in our further slides. Percolation pits, through trenches, through ring wells. So these are the few things how we can percolate the water into our soil. What are the advantages of rainwater harvesting? And then we have to do treatment. you find hard water, there is no hard water, so it's high on minerals. So we have to do softening of it before you use it for your normal purposes. It improves the quality of groundwater when recharged to groundwater. When we say improve the quality of groundwater, what happens is we are diluting the water that is already present inside the groundwater, and it has minerals or whatever it is, but then when you are putting pure water into it, it gets diluted. So, and the diluted water is better for us. We can use it directly. So that is improving the quality of water. Reduces the soil erosion. When the water flows from one place to another, it takes away soil. That takes away soil, and that is erosion. That makes the soil to erode. When we can percolate the water at the same place, the water is not moving, we are enriching the soil. Then there will be people who will make it as me. One of me. I mean, people will make it a business, but then there will be too much of kind of thing. There are people who will do it just for the sake of doing. Government ने बोला है करने के लिए तो do it, but the main purpose of it will be not be reached, right? Okay, Government of Maharashtra by letter so and so, dated 14. This was made in 2002. It has made mandatory to provide rainwater harvesting arrangements in the buildings. See, the government has recognized this need in 2002. So we are already 10 years behind the government and wastewater management. Some municipal corporations are also offering 5% discount on property tax. This has been implemented in Thane KDMC as well. They for existing existing societies. So the existing societies, if they implement rainwater harvesting, they get 5% discount on their property taxes. Then any project beyond 20,000 square meter area has to do rainwater harvesting to get clearance from MOEF. MOEF is Ministry of Environment and Forest. So they have to get a clearance, and these are very stringent departments. Okay, how does a watershed works? See, you normally, I mean, there is no, the ground is not flat, so you will have these ups and downs. It has hills and crests, right? So from the hills, the water flows down to the crest. The rainfall will flow down from the high-lying areas to the low-lying areas. It flows through small canals and the river kind of things, gutters. It forms a river. This river slowly goes and reaches the sea. Now what we are doing, we are extracting water from the sea or to the dams what we have built. We are extracting water from that. We purify that water, then that water reaches us. See the cycle. The rainwater which is falling on my terrace, through water it reaches to the rivers, through river it reaches to your dams. We are spending money to withdraw that water, withdrawing it, purifying it, then you are again spending money to reach to us. Why not use this same water at our own place? There will be a fraction of the cost that we are already paying for. So it makes sense for all of us to invest some amount of money. It's one-time investment in doing something for the Mother Earth and for our future generations, so that we harvest some water at our own residences. Any rainwater harvesting system. So coming to rainwater harvesting. So any queries till now? I mean, if you speak out more, then it becomes more interactive. So these are the main ingredients of a rainwater harvesting system. Yeah. Cutting this thing short, just imagine what we have to do. We already have a catchment area as our roof. The water is getting collected. This water I have to, by some means, make it reach to a place where I can store it. Now the stored water, I need to store it, and then to make it usable, I need to do some kind of treatment on it. That treatment may be very primitive kind of a treatment as well. Just a sand filter will be doing fine. That is also fine. So we can use it. So if we can use our common sense, and we all are educated, we can anyway, easily do it. Then we need a pump to make it available, this water available to me at my required place. Okay. So this